We finally made it, y'all. The two best teams and the two best quarterbacks of 2022. Super Bowl 57 is finally upon us. While Hurts and Mahomes will hold the headlines, it's the game up front that really needs to be discussed. In the world of football, whoever controls the line of scrimmage controls the outcome of the game. And that's exactly what the Eagles have done all year long. But now comes the hardest test, the magician that is Patrick Mahomes. Talented at every position across the line with skill to spare, the Eagles are a nightmare to pass protect against. With multiple guys requiring multiple blockers, someone is always in an advantageous matchup, forcing pressure and making the game difficult. When Fletcher Cox is your weakest starting lineman, you damn good. Leading the unit in pressures and sacks is offseason signing Hassan Reddick, a hyper-quick twitch athlete able to beat your tackle in a moment's notice. Here against the Titans, right tackle Nicholas Petit-Frere thinks he's getting enough depth in his kick step. But if you don't force the wide angle, then Reddick's elite first step is going to have him around you before you even get a hand on him. He's 5 yards deep off the snap in just a moment's notice, swatting away any attempted reach at him and joining his teammate to clatter into Tannehill. This time, facing the All-Pro Tyron Smith, he'll show better technique and understanding of angles, kicking out to Reddick and forcing him a lot wider. But watch the great extension and hand fight to shove himself free of Smith's grasp, giving himself a cushion and a chance to attack with the second move. With space, he rips through Tyron's right shoulder, dipping as he does and creating another QB crunch. And here's that elite burst again, this time with a Euro step. Hitting his man with a 1-2 and swat, Reddick creates an immediate parallel angle to Fields, forcing this ball out and incompletion immediately. And he's got plenty of counters too, set too wide and he'll catch you with his spin move. And I love this one because it shows off more advanced hand fighting technique, hitting his man with the push-pull technique by first engaging on the rush, forcing his man to lean his weight into him, before dragging his nose in front of his toes, pulling him off balance, creating an angle around the edge. Bookending the rush is fantastic Josh Sweat, who brings power and an incredible closing speed to tie the pocket shut. Watch the fantastic timing of his move here, throwing his swipe and punch in time with the crossover, leaving his tackle adjusting to his position and trying to win a hand fight. Great swipe away and power through the finish not to be pushed behind the QB, and Sweat is there to end the play. He's a bigger player than Reddick and consequently a much better run defender. His size makes him a problem target to throw around too. And this is absolutely one of the most athletic plays of the year. Playing good disciplined football to stay in backside contained against the boot action. Then stabbing this Dak ball out of the air, stiff arming him away, and then galloping in for the score. Freakish stuff. And here's that closing speed I mentioned, running a stunt with fellow baller Javon Hargrave. Perfect pick clears a free rushing lane for Sweat, and he fires in like a heat-seeking missile, not allowing Fields to make any sort of move, dragging him down for the sack. It was a perfect pick by Javon Hargrave, and he's the next man to mention because he's a serious threat, and one of the key matchups in this game. But more on that in a moment. One of the league's most underrated interior rushers, Javon needs to slide his way, because he's just too quick for most guards and centers. He's great at getting under his man and then using that leverage to turn the gate, opening holes where you want them least, right in the center of the pocket. This combo of elite outside rush combined with the pass rushing penetrator in the middle has given offensive lines fits all year long. However, the Chiefs are uniquely well matched to stop this extra problem. With two All-Pros on the interior, expect the Chiefs to start off by trying to slide just Joe Thuney to deal with Hargrave on his own, allowing them to contribute more resources to blocking the edge. In his last Super Bowl appearance, Thuney had a performance for the ages, handling the majority of snaps against Aaron Donald, helping nullify one of the best players of all time. The Eagles are going to win the edge at times, but if he in the interior can stay steady, Mahomes has a chance to step up and then work his magic. The war of attrition will also play a huge factor here, because even if they are locked up, the Eagles have plenty of fresh legs in reserve. Veteran pass rusher Brandon Graham tallied 11 sacks and was phenomenal as a situational rusher, coming in to terrorize tackles on third down. If you don't think he's a threat, check out this play where he absolutely embarrasses the league's best left tackle Trent Williams. Trent even gets called for being in an illegal formation here, lining up way off the belt of his center, worried about the speed rush. Seeing the gap between himself and Williams, Graham just goes all out bull rush, using that built up speed to go straight through the block, forcing out a rushed ground ball. And it's this package that I think could be key and worth watching out for. They don't blitz much at all, really just beating teams with talent, but expect them to try to get all 5 of their top pass rushers on the field in obvious passing situations. Facing the league's best quarterback, pressure is going to be the obvious answer. But there's always going to be snaps where Mahomes is going to make himself time, and the tape of the Eagles' coverage leaves some legitimate holes for the Chiefs to attack. With James Bradbury and Darius Slay as your corners, they're much more set up to play zone. However, Mahomes is at this point in his career where if you're playing zone and he's already seen it on film, then he's going to fillet you. Like most modern defenses, the Eagles are particularly fond of leaving the flats open in zone, forcing quarterbacks to make throws on a line and even cross hash just to get the easy yards. Except this is Mahomes and Andy Reid we're talking about. They will happily abuse this all day long. We broke down the Chiefs' use of the overload in the 1-4 set, and this is likely to cause some problems for the Eagles too. They like to play cover 6 and cover 3 a lot. However, the Chiefs have been seeing this all year, knowing how to use trips and 4 strong to beat it. The answer then is to play more man coverage, but this creates real matchup problems. Nobody matches up well with Travis Kelce, and the Eagles continue this trend, so they're going to have to send multiple guys at him. Expect to see chips and shoves at the line, with CJ Gardner-Johnson and the linebacker splitting time double teaming him. And a lot of the time, even this won't be enough for Kelce. Doubling up on players usually leaves single shots elsewhere, and this is another way the Chiefs could take advantage. A misunderstood player, James Bradbury is a zone corner at heart with a drive to make every ball his. However, this gets him in trouble a lot. He wants to jump everything, and on more than one occasion has been beaten trying to do so. Expect Andy Reid to find a way to get a solo matchup that he likes and take a shot with the double move. The Eagles also showed more than a few blown assignments on running backs on tape. So if there's an overcommitment or miscommunication in the double on Kelce, you could see Jerick McKinnon have a big day. The other big concern is their ability to contain the quarterback. Way too often on tape did the rush allow an athletic QB to break contain and punish them with his legs. For some strange reason, people don't view Mahomes as a scrambling quarterback, despite him being one of the best at it in the league. He just chooses to do it behind the line of scrimmage when he can, so he can hit any spot on the field. If they're going rushing this wildly and playing the option this poorly, there may be some big trouble. I know Reid loves to sprinkle in option calls from Mahomes too, so it will be interesting to see how healthy his ankle is, because these plays in key moments could really swing the game for the Chiefs' offense. Overload, throw quickly, and exploit double moves, and the pass rush might not even matter. The biggest advantage in this contest could take the game away from Mahomes by just simply keeping him off the field. The best offensive line in the league, this unit should be thought of as one of the very best in the last 2 decades, especially after their dominant performance in the NFC Championship. A block so big you could see it from the broadcast angle was the first moment I thought this game would be going the Eagles' way. Running duo here watches the power from left tackle Jordan Mailata, receiving a chip to help but then just driving back 99 5 yards off the line and into the dirt. Just look at the space they're continually creating. These are virtual chasms being carved against one of the best D-lines in the league. Again, running duo here, watch the size of the hole Jason Kelce creates. He's straight out of the snap, firing into 99's ribs while he's engaged with Landon Dickerson, sending him flying out of the play, but he never loses balance or control, immediately working up to the second level and sealing out Greenlaw. Nobody has been able to match the muscle power, and they've continually bulldozed teams off the line of scrimmage with this duo play. The aim is to create as many double teams on the line and push the opposition backwards before peeling to pick up second-level blockers. The back is reading the D tackles, and here with both of them pushed back, finds great yards through the called A-gap. And here it is again versus Minnesota. They again bring the trap block across to take out the end and run 2 doubles inside to create maximum push. 94 does a great job to flash his helmet across to the body of Serumalu, but a nice hezzy from Sanders helps the line open a huge hole. It's important to stick with your blocks as long as possible in duo, as you never know where the back might cut. This unit is absolutely fantastic at this. And they're ridiculously mobile too, able to run stretch to either side, get wide, run power, pull any player, and this just gives them a diversity in the run game that you just don't see in 2022. Speaking of mobile, it's time for the Thinking Football Loves Jason Kelce section of this video. And yes, he's as good as ever. His mobility sets him apart from any center in the league. Being able to climb and make blocks other line controllers just can't. This block against Dre Greenlaw is just ridiculous. Pulling around his left guard to be Hurts' lead blocker on the draw. And not only getting out in space, but sealing off one of the fastest linebackers in the league. Just so damn good. Being able to just bulldoze the opposition off the line means you should always be able to control the clock and pace of the game. If they can get up early, they have a real chance to try to shorten the clock and gives Mahomes less time to work any magic. When it comes to protecting Hurts and creating time to throw, the Eagles have been magnificent at this, often still holding protection after the alarm has gone off for Hurts to scramble. The biggest threat on the Chiefs line is of course All-Pro Chris Jones, but this is a brick wall of a unit he'll be going up against. If Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo wants to get him the best matchup for him, expect to see him try to play him out as a defensive end against Jordan Mailata in passing situations. Spagnuolo is known for his blitzing, but I don't think that's a very good tactic here. The line are too well drilled to catch off guard, and you're leaving more one-on-one to find reads for Hurts. Blitz in the wrong spot, and you could also be susceptible to a QB scramble into open grass. I think you approach it as if Hurts is Mahomes. Load the box by all means to stop the run, but use this to clog passing lanes. Roll to complicated looks and make him go through his progressions. It's shaping up to be a great matchup between the two best sides in football, and it's going to be close. If the Eagles can get ahead and use the lines to control the pace of the game, then we could see a dominant performance for the boys in green. But if they fail to play contain, Mahomes will dance all over them with just 1.5 ankles. Let us know your score predictions down in the comments below. Happy Super Bowl! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe because after the Super Bowl, our draft breakdowns will be dropping fast. Take care.